All right, let's just jump right into this because this is a big one. We're talking about a massive collision of universes. You've got the corporate-sponsored chaos of the boys on one side, and on the other, the absolute supernatural judgment of Marvel's Ghost Rider. And look, this isn't just about who would win in a fight. Oh no, this is about what happens when a truly unstoppable force of cosmic justice smashes into a universe that has totally forgotten what justice even looks like. So, to really get the stage for this throwdown, you have to understand the world of the boys. I mean, this is a place where Vought International's so-called heroes are smiling on billboards while they're committing just horrible atrocities in the shadows. Every single news story is a lie, polished by a PR team, and the courts, they just look the other way. The sins in this world are practically screaming into the void, a giant beacon of corruption in a world that has zero consequences. And really, that's the question, isn't it? That's what this whole explainer is about. When you've built a world that puts monsters on pedestals and calls them gods, when you've forgotten what accountability even is, what happens when a real, ancient, and terrifying power shows up to balance the books? To get there, we've got to break down the power structure that Ghost Rider is about to just shatter. We need to look at Vought International and their crown jewels, the Seven. Okay, so the most important thing you have to remember is that the Seven aren't a superhero team. Not really. They're a brand. They're a corporate asset. Their crime fighting is just a series of focus-grouped publicity stunts designed to move action figures and make Vought's stock price go up. Their real motto isn't about justice, it's how does this play with the focus groups? Now look at this. What's really telling here isn't who's on the team now, it's the body count. Just check out that deceased column. That high turnover rate, that's not from heroic sacrifices. It's from backstabbing, blackmail, and the brutal reality of what it takes to be one of Vought's corporate gods. This isn't a team, it's a shark tank with a really good marketing department. And all of their power, every last bit of it, comes from one thing, Compound V. And this is key, it's science, not magic. It rewrites your DNA, sure, but it doesn't rewrite the laws of physics. Supes are biological, they're genetic, they can be hurt, they can bleed, and their powers have a scientific explanation. You have to lock that away because it is absolutely crucial for what's coming next. So now let's switch gears and talk about the force that's about to crash this party. Because, well, it doesn't play by any of those scientific rules, at all. See, Ghost Rider isn't a hero, not in the way we usually think of one. He's more like a fundamental force of nature, a spirit of vengeance that's drawn to overwhelming guilt, like a shark to blood in the water. And in Vought's world, the guilt has hit a critical mass. It's basically sending out a dinner bell across dimensions. And this right here, this is the whole game. This chart says it all. The Seven's powers are all from Compound V. It's biological, it's physical. Ghost Rider, he's pure supernatural energy. Hellfire. You can't punch a demon to death. You can't vaporize a spirit with heat vision. They're not even on the same playing field. They're playing two completely different sports. Which brings us to Ghost Rider's ultimate trump card, the penance stare. This is not a physical attack. It completely bypasses durability, super strength, invulnerability, all of it. It's a direct psychic assault on your very soul, forcing you to feel every single ounce of pain and suffering you have ever caused anyone else. It doesn't break your body. It absolutely shatters your soul. So, with all the pieces on the board, let's play this out. Let's see what happens when these two forces finally collide. Because this isn't going to be a fight. It's going to be a reckoning. The whole thing starts not with a big explosion, but with a terrifying stillness. Ghost Rider just appears. Inside Vought Tower, the most secure building on Earth. All those locks, those scanners, the Compound V detectors, they're all based on physics. And to a supernatural being, they're not even suggestions. They're just not there. And here it is. Homelander's fatal arrogance, right on display. He sees this thing and his brain can only process it in one way. It's just another Supe. It's a physical problem that he can solve with overwhelming force. He is completely, utterly incapable of understanding that he's not facing something stronger than him, he's facing something different. And in that one moment, his entire worldview just breaks. His heat vision, the stuff that can melt steel in seconds, the hellfire just drinks it up. His incredible strength means nothing against a being he can't even physically harm. Every advantage Compound V ever gave him is completely nullified because this enemy isn't playing by the rules of science. Ghost Rider doesn't waste any time. He doesn't go for the minions. He goes straight to the top, right to the brightest, loudest beacon of sin in the entire building. He singles out the most powerful, the most arrogant, and the most guilty of them all for a very, very personal judgment. So the penance stare hits him, and it's not like watching a movie of his greatest sins. Oh no, he is forced to become his victims. He feels the terror of every single person on Flight 37 as he abandons them. He feels Madeline Stillwell's eyes burning out of her skull. He feels the violation Becca Butcher endured. Every narcissistic excuse, every justification he's ever made is just burned away, leaving only the raw, unfiltered truth of the monster he is. And the result is total system failure. The man who saw himself as a god just crumples to the floor, a broken, sobbing mess. The stare didn't kill him physically. It did something so much worse. It forced him, for the first time in his life, to truly see himself. And his mind, it just couldn't take it. And after that, it's just a cleanup, a swift, methodical dismantling of the rest of the team. The Deep, A-Train, their sins are put on the scale and they are judged just as brutally. But then you have Maeve and Starlight. Their guilt comes from standing by, from inaction, and they're given a choice, which shows you that for Ghost Rider, this isn't just about punishment. It's about restoring balance. And sometimes, balance means giving someone one last chance to do the right thing. So, with the 7 completely broken, the spirit of vengeance turns its gaze away from the symptoms and focuses on the disease itself, the corporation that made them all possible. The purge is terrifyingly fast. On day 1, 23 Vought executives, lawyers, PR gurus, just found in their offices staring blankly at the walls, their minds completely wiped. The entire corporate machine just grinds to a halt because all the architects are gone. And this is the chilling verdict that gets delivered to Vought CEO Stan Edgar, and it really highlights a deeper kind of evil. See, Homelander's a monster, for sure, but he's a broken product of trauma. Edgar, on the other hand, his evil is a choice. It's cold, it's calculated. He understands what suffering is. He just files it under cost of doing business. And in the eyes of vengeance, that is the far greater. And from there, the whole empire just implodes. With the leadership gone, there's no one left to spin the lies or bury the bodies. All the terrified employees and ex-Supes start talking. The whole rotten house of cards just comes crashing down because the fear of supernatural judgment is way more powerful than any NDA. So Vought is gone. The 7 are broken. But what's left behind? That's the final and maybe the most unsettling question of all. Look, Ghost Rider brought accountability to a world that had absolutely none, but he did it with supernatural terror, leaving shattered minds everywhere he went. And it forces you to ask a really tough question. When a system is so corrupt, so broken that it protects monsters, can true justice only be delivered by an even bigger, more terrifying monster? It's a dark thought, but in a world as messed up as the boys, it might just be the only one that makes any sense.